The Constitution of India. Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello children, how do you do? Hope you are good and on the track related to your academics. Today I am going to begin with a new lesson. I want to begin the lesson by saying a quote. You can be completely selfish, completely selfless, or any of the combination in between. Life is the journey from being selfish to selfless. That is, act without expectation. My dear children, we have to show humane nature and we have to do service for others. Therefore, my dear children, be a hand for others so that they will be happy and we also will be happy. By saying this, I move on to today's session. Today's class is related with a new chapter, that is 7th chapter, and it is the genetics of the future. In this chapter, we are going to study about genetic engineering, because in today's world, genetic engineering is a technology which is used for the production of new things which are useful to human beings. So, here you can see the insulin used for the treatment of diabetes is produced mainly from bacteria. Doctor is taking a seminar on health and he is telling that the insulin used for the treatment of diabetes is produced mainly from bacteria. When the doctor said this, that time a child is just thinking, how can the insulin produced by bacterium be used by humans? Isn't it? Surely that question will be arising there, my dear children. So, here it has been said, did you notice Saju's doubt when he heard the doctor's talk in the seminar conducted by the health club? How can bacteria produce insulin that can be used by humans? Isn't it? How can bacteria produce insulin that can be used by humans? So, you can see the illustration 7.1 related to the production of insulin, that is the various stages in the production of bacteria that are capable of producing insulin. This is the various stages in the production of bacteria that are capable of producing insulin. We can see the illustration, we can analyze it. It is very, very important, my dear children, you have to go through it. So, in the production of insulin, human cell is taken and bacterial cell is taken. This is human cell and this is bacterial cell, and we know that human cell nucleus is there. In the nucleus chromosome is there and the chromosome DNA is present there, and inside the DNA genes are present there, and these genes are capable of producing proteins. Now, in the same manner in the bacterial cell we can see two DNA. This is a normal bacterial DNA and this one is a circular bacterial DNA, which is also called plasmid. This plasmid is used as vectors for the transformation of gene from one cell to another cell in the organism. My dear children, once again I will tell you, this is the bacterial cell, and in the bacterial cell we can see two DNA. One is the normal DNA of the bacterium. The other one is the circular DNA of the bacterium, which is also called plasmid. This is important, and this plasmid is used as vector, or it is used as an agent, or it is used as a medium for the transferring of gene from one cell to another cell of the organism. Now you can see from the human DNA, the gene of interest, that is the gene which is having the insulin, that gene of interest, cutting of insulin gene, that gene of interest is taken and it is been cut by the enzyme. Here also the circular DNA is taken there, it has been isolated from the bacterial cell. As I told you, this is the vector which is used for transferring the gene of interest. So here this plasmid is been isolated from the bacterial cell. Now here the cutting of insulin gene from this fragment of DNA, a piece of DNA is being taken from here, and from that piece the insulin gene where it is present in that DNA is being cut, and here also a part of the plasmid is being cut. So from here a piece is being taken, or it is being cut, and from here the insulin gene is being cut. Now what happened, you can see here the joining insulin gene with plasmid, that is insulin gene which is being taken from the human DNA is being joined with the plasmid, that is a piece which is being cut from here, there the insulin gene is being joined. Now it became the new DNA, this is the new DNA, understood? Now this DNA is again incorporated into the bacterial cell. Again this DNA is incorporated into the bacterial cell. You can see plasmid with ligated insulin gene is inserted into bacterial cell. That is, ligated means it is being incorporated, it is being introduced into the bacterial cell, and later on what happened, you can see here the bacteria that multiplies in culture medium produce inactive insulin. This bacterial cell which is having the new DNA, which is also known as rDNA, or it is also known as recombinant DNA. This DNA with this bacterial cell is being introduced into the medium, and in that medium this bacterial cell started to replicate. As bacterial cell is having the capacity to divide and replicate and multiply for many times. So in this culture medium, when this bacterial cell is incorporated, what happened? Bacteria that multiply in the culture medium produce inactive insulin. When it started to multiply in this culture medium, the bacteria was able to produce inactive insulin, because this DNA, it is having the insulin gene in it. Now later on what happened, active insulin is produced from this. From this active insulin, that is the insulin which is used by the human being, is being produced. That means after the production of inactive insulin, this inactive insulin will be processed. It will be processed, and after the processing what happened, the active insulin is produced, which will be used there by the human being for the diabetes. So this is how insulin is produced through genetic engineering. This is the process of genetic engineering. That means here the gene of interest is being taken, which gene is needed there, that is being separated, and it will be incorporated into the bacterial cell, and later on it will multiply, and the production of that material, or the production of that protein, or the production of the will be taking place. And here we have seen production of insulin through genetic engineering has taken place. So this is how, my dear children, the production of insulin is taking place by using bacterium. Understood, my dear children? I think you would have understood. It is important. You have to go through it. If you are not able to understand it, you have to call me and you have to clarify the doubts. Now, indicator, change brought about in the genetic constitution of the bacteria. What is the change which is brought about in the genetic constitution of the bacteria? You can see here, isn't it? Here, what happened? In the plasmid, a new gene is being incorporated. So, what happened? The genetic constitution of the bacteria has changed. A new gene is being incorporated. Due to that, the genetic constitution of the bacteria has changed. Okay. Now, next question. What is that? It is new trait formed in this bacterium. What is a new character formed in this bacterium? The new character is this one, isn't it? That is a new DNA is being incorporated, or we can say new DNA which is having the gene insulin is being incorporated into it. That is the new trait we can see in the structure of bacterium. The ability of production of insulin by succeeding generations of this bacterium. Is the ability of bacterium for production of insulin by succeeding generation is taking place? The answer is yes, because the bacterium is having the capacity to multiply, to replicate. Surely, when the gene of interest is incorporated into the bacterial cell, automatically the bacterial cell starts to replicate, or it will starts to divide, and surely for the succeeding generation the production of insulin is possible. That is the answer for this question. Now, next one is genetic engineering. See, science has progressed in such a way that it can produce organisms with desirable qualities by bringing about changes in the genetic material. Just now I told you genetic engineering, what it is? It is bringing about changes in the genetic material, thus new products are formed, isn't it, with the desirable qualities. So, what is biotechnology or genetic engineering? The use of microorganisms and biological processes for various human requisites is called biotechnology or genetic engineering. That means, by using microorganisms and the biological processes, various human requirements is being fulfilled, and that technology or that process is called biotechnology or genetic engineering. We know that the ability of fungi and bacteria to convert sugar into alcohol, it was utilized to make wine, appam and cake, isn't it? Before and all, we used to add yeast in the cake or in the dough which is being prepared there for preparing appam, isn't it? And the ability, why we are using the yeast? Why? Because it is a fungus and it is having the ability to convert the sugar into alcohol, isn't it? And this kind of process is called traditional method of biotechnology. So, in the previous era or in the olden age, there was the traditional method of biotechnology which was used there for the preparation of cake as well as wine or appam, and now that traditional method of biotechnology is being converted to modern form of biotechnology, and that is called genetic engineering. So, from the beginning itself biotechnology is being used there, but now what happened? The modification based on its usage is being done, and new process is being taking place for the production of new products which are useful to human beings. Now, today we can produce things essential for humans by bringing about changes in the genetic material of organisms. We can produce many things which is needed there for the human beings by bringing about changes in the genetic material of the organism. We know that what is genetic material? Genetic material is the DNA, and in the DNA if we are bringing any modification or if we are bringing any changes, surely we will be able to produce many things which are needed for humans, isn't it? Now, genetic engineering It is the technology of controlling traits of organisms by bringing about desirable changes in the genetic constitution of organism. So, what is genetic engineering? It is a technology, and what it is doing? It is controlling the characters of the organisms. And how it is controlling the characters? By bringing about desirable changes in the genetic constitution of the organism. In the organism, genetic constitution is there in the form of DNA, and it will be modified by bringing desirable changes, and thus the character will be produced which will be new, and it will be giving a good result, and it will be producing from that character, from that protein we will be able to produce new products which are very useful for the humans. So, genetic engineering is a useful technique for the human beings, isn't it? Okay. Now, next thing, it has been said that how are the very minute genes cut and joined? We have seen in the production of insulin, the gene of interest, that is insulin gene, is been cut from the other part of DNA. How it is been cut? And next thing, we have seen that the plasmid, in the plasmid, the gene of interest, that is insulin gene, is been joined again, isn't it? How it is being joined? That is a question. How are the very minute genes cut and joined? So, we can analyze the description based on it. You can see here, this is the structure of DNA. From here, the part is being cut. How it is being cut? For example, from this structure, we want this part. Surely, it can be cut from the other part of the DNA, and this part can be joined to the vector. How it is been happening? You can see here, enzymes are used to cut and join genes. So, for cutting this fragment, surely what is used there? Enzymes are used there, and for cutting the gene, we can see the enzyme restriction endonuclease is used to cut gene. So, which enzyme is used here to cut the gene? It is restriction endonuclease. This is very important, and this enzyme is known as genetic scissor. So, the base pair relationship is genetic scissor is to restriction endonuclease. And next one, the enzyme ligase is used for joining. We have seen in the plasmid the gene of interest, that is insulin gene, is being joined. And how it is being joined? It is being joined with the help of the enzyme ligase, and this enzyme is called genetic glue. So, the base pair relationship goes genetic glue is to ligase. Understood, my dear children? So, for cutting the gene, restriction endonuclease is used there, and for joining the gene with the vector, enzyme ligase is used. So, this is how the genes are cut and they are joined. I think you would have understood about this part very nicely. It is very important, my dear children. Next one, you can see how was the insulin producing gene of human transferred into the bacterium. Already I told you, isn't it? It is through the vector. So, it has been said a gene from one cell is transferred to another cell by using suitable vectors. So, through the vectors, the gene from one cell is being transferred to the another cell. Vectors, what are vectors? Vectors which contain ligated genes enter target cells. Plasmids in bacteria are generally used as vectors. So, in the case of bacteria, the plasmids are used as vectors. So, what are vectors? Vectors, they are the mediators, or they are the agents which are transferring the gene from one cell to another cell, and in the case of bacteria, plasmids, they are used as vectors. So, in this way, the new gene becomes a part of genetic constitution of target cell. So, when a vector is used there, what will happen? The new gene will becoming the part of the genetic constitution of the target cell. So, this is how through vector the genes is being transferred from one cell to another cell. So, based on that topic, the indicator cutting of gene, how cutting of gene has taken place? Through the enzyme called restriction endonuclease. Ligation or insertion of gene, how it has been taken place? We can say it has taken place through the enzyme ligase. And what are vectors? Vectors are the organisms, or they are the agents through which the gene is being transferred from one cell to another cell. So, that is related to the vectors. Now, we can see some of the scopes of genetic engineering. What are the scopes of genetic engineering? You can see here, it is very, very important. Number 1 is gene therapy, number 2 is genetically modified animals and crops, and number 3 is forensic test. The first one is gene therapy. The scope of genetic engineering, number 1 is gene therapy, number 2 is genetically modified animals and crops, and number 3 is forensic test. So, the first one is gene therapy. Gene therapy, it is a method of treatment in which the genes that are responsible for diseases are removed and normal functional genes are inserted in their place. So, what is gene therapy? It is a method of treatment where the genes that are responsible for the diseases are removed. That means, certain genes, they will be causing diseases, and these genes, they have to be removed. So, through gene therapy, these types of genes will be removed, and instead of those genes, normal functional genes will be inserted in that place. So, this is the process through which the diseased or the non-functional gene or the gene which is causing disease will be removed, and instead of that a normal gene will be replaced, and that process is called gene therapy. This is very, very important, my dear children, you have to study it. Now, you can see here how can the genes that are responsible for diseases be identified from among thousands of microscopic genes. In our body, there are thousands of microscopic genes, and how it is possible to identify which gene is responsible for the diseases? That is a correct question which is being asked by a child. The child was asking or thinking, how can the genes that are responsible for diseases be identified from among thousands of microscopic genes? Many genes are present there, millions and millions of genes are present there in our body, and among these genes, which gene is non-functional or which gene is causing disease, how it can be found out. So, you can see here the description. The description related to the guess or the question came into the mind of the child. You can see here, that is Human Genome Project. So, what is Human Genome Project? We can see, even though science has progressed a lot, we couldn't control genetic diseases. The reason is for this that we could not identify the exact gene responsible for a specific trait and its location. So, what is the question which was raised by that child? Among the thousands or millions of genes, which gene is causing disease, how it could be found out? And surely it has been said that even though science has progressed a lot, still we are not able to control genetic diseases. And the reason for this, they are saying that we could not find out or identify the exact gene responsible for a specific trait and its location, where the exact gene is present, and how we can find out which gene is responsible for which disease. It was not found out by any scientist. That is the reason we are not able to control genetic diseases. In 1990, the Human Genome Project was started as an attempt to solve this issue. So, in 1990, Human Genome Project was started to bring about some solution related to this area. As a result of experiments conducted in various laboratories around the world till 2003, the secrets of human genome were revealed. In 2003, the secret of human genome was revealed, and it was the technology known as gene mapping helped to identify the location of a gene in the DNA responsible for a particular trait. So, in 2003 only a technology came, and the name of the technology was gene mapping, and through gene mapping the identification and the location of a gene in the DNA was taken place, and it was taken place in 2003, and this gene mapping helped, isn't it, helped for the location of gene which is responsible for a particular trait. So, through gene mapping the identification and the location of a gene in the DNA was taken place which was responsible for a particular trait. Now, what is genome? Human Genome Project in this, what is genome? The complete genetic material present in an organism is called its genome. That is, in an organism the complete genetic material, the complete DNA which is present there, that is genome. And in human DNA, majority of genes except the genes that code for protein are non-functional. That means the millions and millions of genes are present there, but the gene which is coding for the protein except that gene, the other genes all are non-functional, and they are called junk genes. So, only few genes are there which are functional, and the remaining other genes are non-functional. Understood, my dear children? So, that is related to gene mapping which was brought by Human Genome Project. Now, what is the relevance of Human Genome Project and what is the benefit of gene mapping? We can see here it has been coming. Did you understood the relevance of Human Genome Project? You can see here. The first relevance, it is been said as human genome has about 24,000 functional genes. So, human being is having 24,000 functional genes, and major share of human DNA includes junk genes. The major part of the human DNA is having junk genes. Now, there is only 0.2% difference in DNA among humans. There is only 0.2% difference in the DNA among human being. Among the human being, only 2% difference is taking place in the DNA of the human beings. Now, about 200 genes in human genome are identical to those in bacteria. When it has been compared with the bacterial DNA, 200 genes are similar to the bacterial DNA. So, this is the relevance of Human Genome Project, which is again important, my dear children. Now, next one is benefit of gene mapping. So, through gene mapping we are able to find out the exact location of the gene, and because of that surely we will be able to find out which gene is functional and which gene is non-functional, or which gene is causing diseases, and through this we will be able to control genetic diseases. That is the benefit of gene mapping. I think you would have understood about this thing, my dear children. So, that is all about today's lesson, and here I am going to wind up. My dear children, if you are having any doubt related to today's topic, please do not hesitate to give me a call and clarify your doubt, so that you will be able to always be on track with your academics and you will be happy. My dear children, take care. We will be meeting soon.